Welcome to Fueled by Death Show. Hey, it's not just a podcast anymore. Get ready, the show's about to begin.
Welcome, everybody. We're back. We're back for real, and it is a brand new year. Welcome to Fueled by Death Show. This is the companion show to episode 107 of the podcast, and we'll get to that a little bit later in the show. Thanks for joining us. As always, I am the incredible Jeff.
It's a new year. It's a new me, Jeff.
Oh, okay. So who are you? You haven't thought that one through, have you?
First you get the resolution,
Uh-huh.
and then you don't do anything.
Oh, okay.
So,
yep. Says the amazing D-Man. And I just want to take a second for all of you newbies out there who might be joining the show for the first time, starting out your 2019 right. We're giving away a mug like we try to do every single show this year. In this show, we're giving away the last industrial mug in the warehouse, in the office that's at our fulfillment center, the last one in existence that has not been sold to one of you. This is it. This is your final way to get one of these. And all you got to do is share this feed if you're watching it live and drop a comment in those comments. One lucky comment at the end of the show will be picked, and D-Man and myself will sign this mug and send it right out to you. It's that easy.
it's that easy.
It's that easy. And you know what else is easy is following us on social media. Personally speaking, I am at Jeff Wish Coffee.
And I am at Death Wish Dustin.
And now the show itself has its own social media, and we're going to do a lot of fun stuff across all those platforms. So please give us a follow at Fueled by Deathcast on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And there'll be all sorts of fun stuff happening as we get those channels really rolling in the next weeks and months and years and forever and ever and ever.
Forever.
And speaking of social media and speaking of 2019, if you haven't started your year off right by following Christian Slater, go do so right now.
Why would you not follow the real Christian Slater or at real Christian Slater?
At Real Christian Slater on Instagram, at Christian Slater on Twitter. Give him a follow. He's not that active on social media, but
Who cares? He's still dashing, and now he's wise with years
Yes.
of acting
Yes.
and amazingness.
And during this moment, we like to talk about his incredible career and some of the things that he's done. And I am throwing this one way back to when he was younger. And this actually has a little bit to do with podcasting itself.
I'm not sure if I don't think I'm familiar with this.
This is the movie Pump Up the Volume. And if you've never seen this movie, it's absolutely incredible.
Is it actually, though?
Sort of.
I feel like I got set up last time. You told me all about True Romance.
Let me put it this way. It is height Christian Slater when Christian Slater was young Christian Slater. And it also is the birth of podcasts. Before I go any further, here's the smallest clip I can play for you without getting in trouble.
He's got a pirate radio station. Nobody knows who he is.
I could be that anonymous nerd sitting across from you.
Hi, I'm Christian Slater. I'm super handsome and kind of dashing and witty.
That was pretty much what we just saw in that clip. And basically what Pump Up the Volume is that Christian Slater is a student, and he starts a pirate radio station.
Oh, okay.
And no
I
one
have
knows,
seen.
no
I
one
have
knows
seen
it's
that.
him.
Yeah.
It is the precursor.
In an undisclosed location.
Right.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is
yeah.
the precursor to podcasting, basically.
Basically.
In fact, I have to throw it out to our good friends down at a shared universe podcast studio down in New Jersey, Ming Chen and Mike Zapsik. They actually use, and I'll put a photo of this up there, they actually use this movie poster as their promotional material.
I don't blame them.
Which I don't either. Why not use Christian Slater?
Yeah, if you're going to sell something, put at Real Christian Slater on that thing, and it will sell.
It is.
Period.
It is the truth. And, you know, if you're looking for something new to do in 2019, start your own podcast. If you happen to be in the New Jersey area, you can start it right at a Shared Universe podcast studio with Ming and Mike.
How convenient is that?
How convenient is that?
To start your own podcast along some of the best podcasters that are alive today.
It's the truth.
Wait, maybe all podcasters are alive today.
Yeah, maybe all, but they are some of the best.
There must be a podcaster that has died somewhere along
That's
the line.
true.
If not, I'm going to kill you, Jeff.
Okie dokie. I also do want to just mention real quick some of our good friends. If you're looking to start your own podcast, you don't know where to start, I can't say enough good things about these guys. Sennheiser, that's the microphones we use. The sound that you hear is all coming from these. We love that company, and everybody who works for them, they are the best. They'll work to make your podcast, your audio needs, whatever you need, they'll make it happen, and it's pretty awesome. Speaking of making it happen, in 2019, our good friend Brock Powell,
BrockFox.com.
he is the voice actor on this show and 1,000 voices out there in the world. He's going to make it happen in 2019. He's got a lot of fun stuff coming out. One of the things I can talk about that he announced a little bit on this show, and then we talked about it a little bit. He's on a show, which we've talked about before, on Disney Channel called Milo Murphy's Law. And that is, for those, I'm going to get a little nerdy Disney-wise, but for those of you who are Disney fans, this show that Brock does voices on, Milo Murphy's Law, exists in the same universe as another Disney show, Phineas and Ferb. And they are doing a huge crossover event on the Disney Channel in the new year, and that's very exciting, and Brock is a huge part of it. So
I want to be more excited. I'm
just
not a Disney person.
Exactly. I'm not really as familiar with these shows either.
Do I look like a Disney guy?
You look like a Disney princess.
You know what? I already threatened your life once.
It's true. It's true. We're off to a good start in 2019.
We're just in the intro, and I've already threatened your life twice.
I just gotta say, I really do hope that all of you guys had a very happy New Year. That whole thing, New Year, New You, right? We'll get into that a little bit later in the show. But I do want to say that we're kicking off an entire month long of podcast guests that are devoted to health and fitness and, getting the better you, to become the better you. And we have a bunch of awesome guests all month of January long. And we'll be talking about that on all these shows as they come up. But again, I hope you guys all had a very happy New Year. So stick around for not only a sneak peek of tomorrow's podcast, but also some really cool stuff on the update, including a product that we're premiering on this very show.
Oh my
no
God.
one's seen it. We've kind of hinted at it, but no one's seen it at all. Also, like I said, new me, new you, right? We're going to roast New Year's resolutions because, come
Why not?
on,
Why
why
not?
the hell
Come
not? You're going to meet this week's Death Star of the Week, and we've got some really fun science topics coming up right next.
Secret code unlocked. Discount of death.
This week, and, well, God damn it, every week.
Yeah.
If you use the discount code discount of death,
Oh,
that
word.
will nail you 12% off of everything on deathwishcoffee.com. Jeff, tell them how that works.
All you got to do at deathwishcoffee.com, put anything you are going to want to buy in your shopping cart, and then when you go to the cart, you're going to see a little box that says enter discount code here. Just type in discount of death, all one word, in there, and you'll get 12% off your entire purchase forever, every time you do it. We used to switch up the code a lot, and that just kind of weighed on us a little bit because we'd always have to think of a new code and a new product, and it's like we just want to give you guys a way to save money at the end of the day. So This is the easiest way to do it. Discounted death, 12% off your entire purchase on deathwishcoffee.com.
Science!
Okay, D-Man. So science this week, actually the first topic we're going to talk about was sent to us by a fan of the show.
Oh, shit.
Again, follow us on social media. Let us, you can interact with us, and sometimes I'll listen to what you say, and it'll end up on the show.
Jeff will listen to you.
This was sent in by Harley David Jr., and it was a topic that I had never heard about before. It's called the Stratospheric Observatory for Infrared Astronomy, or SOFIA. It's a heavily modified Boeing 747 Special Performance jetliner, and it's got 17-ton, 8-foot telescope mounted behind a 16 by 23-foot sliding door that reveals the infrared telescope to the skies. Isn't that crazy?
It's they're not looking at us. They're looking at the stars.
They're looking at the stars.
Okay, that's good.
And it's incredible. The plane's ability To fly near the edges of the atmosphere gives it better visibility than ground-based observatories, and the fact that it makes regular appearances on Earth's surface, unlike a space telescope, means it can be easily repaired or reprogrammed. So it's the best of both worlds. We're
So it's
above
like-
the
yeah,
atmosphere,
yeah.
but it can come back down and we can repair it. Because remember when Hubble broke and it was so hard to go up there and fix
Yeah,
Hubble?
so it's
Like,
a mix between a telescope on Earth, on the ground, and a satellite.
yeah.
No, I'd never even thought of that. Is that? I mean, obviously, it's not difficult to get pictures while on a moving vehicle,
Right.
because we do it on telescopes all the time.
All the time. And this just allows us to utilize this in a completely new way. And as you can see with this graph, it's looking at everything, planets, comets, and it has this infrared technology, which gives us a little bit more of an insight of looking at something that a normal telescope might not be able to do. I actually have a side-by-side comparison right here. This is literally the visible light of Orion on the left there, and then that's the infrared from Sophia of Orion, and that just gives us more data.
That's fantastic looking.
Fantastic. And I have a short clip from a longer video from NASA that explains a little bit more about Sophia and shows you the interior of this incredible flying observatory. And check this out.
I think of Sophia mostly as sort of catching light.
Day after day, we can get up and do these missions and really do really cutting edge astronomy in the infrared spectrum. Sophia is an observatory, and like other observatories around the world, it can do a lot of different science. A lot of those observatories are on the tops of mountains around 13 or 14,000 feet.
Even when we have a ground-based telescope in a perfect place, sometimes it doesn't get any data because the clouds come in. Being able to fly over all of that is just a tremendous asset.
What happens is in the upper atmosphere of the Earth, as the light comes down, from some astronomical object, very little of that light's able to pass all the way down to the ground. So what Sophia does is it flies above the bulk of that water in the atmosphere.
But Sophia can fly at 43,000 feet, more than double the height of all of the other observatories in the world.
And that is above 90% of the water vapor, and that's a position that is necessary for astronomers to do infrared astronomy.
So space-based observatories have some really unique aspects to them. They're always in space, they're very cold, they can observe around the clock day in and day out.
Spacecraft, the demand on low weight, low power consumption are very extreme. So in an airborne observatory, you have a lot of power, a lot of space available.
One of the powerful benefits that Sophia brings us is the ability to go chasing these occultations in a way that no other observatory can do.
An occultation is basically a situation where a planet or an object of interest moves in front of a background star.
We observed a Pluto occultation. So that was where Pluto fell in our line of sight with a background star and made that star's light blink out very momentarily.
They modeled where that shadow was going to be, and we flew this airplane at roughly 500 miles an hour to catch a shadow that was going across the surface of the Earth at 53,000 miles an hour.
So Sophia is considered to be an international resource to be used by the global community of astronomers.
We hope to truly inspire students, scientists, engineers, mechanics, pilots, so anyone in a grade school classroom right now, depending on what their interest is, they can see themselves operating Sophia in the next 10 to 15 years.
There are a lot of open science questions that have been open for, quite frankly, a very long time. Creativity and inquiry is what's going to lead Sophia to discovery and to answering a lot of outstanding questions over the next 20 years of its life.
So that's really, really interesting. This plane, Sophia, can stay airborne for over 12 hours, and its range is 6,625 nautical miles. And with a service ceiling of 45,000 feet in the air, it can fly above the troposphere, which literally gets it above 99% of the water vapor in the atmosphere. And that's literally what's taking our resolution down from ground-based telescopes.
That makes sense.
Because we're having to fight through all of that just to get these pictures.
Wow.
It can get above all of that, which is crazy. NASA says the data provided by Sophia cannot be obtained by any other astronomical facility on ground or in space. And unlike grounded telescopes and satellites fixed in orbit, Sophia is mobile, so it can better spot transient space events like supernovae or comets. Now remember, transient stuff is like what Tess is looking for with those planets. It's when light passes in front of an object, and you can see it, so it's like, oh, there's something there. And because this thing can move around, we can actually track that stuff way easier. You know, I have some other examples here of what it's doing, and like these are some pictures that it took of the Orion area, and then you can see like the visible light is all the way on the left, the near infrared is the center one, but Sophia is taking that mid infrared on the end. And that's giving us just a better idea. And it's not just one thing. We're using all three of those types of telescopes, and we're getting the full picture now, which is really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. And finally, Sophia's being used today, actually in 2018 and into 2019, to look closely at star formation, celestial bodies, and the brightest comet we observed in 2018. And I'll give you this awesome example. This picture right here was taken from Hubble, and this is, and I forget the name of the comet, but you know they name it a bunch of letters and numbers. This was the brightest comet in the night sky during 2018, and this was from the Hubble telescope in space. This is the picture that Sophia took of the same thing. So we actually can see it a little bit clearer, a little bit better.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just absolutely incredible, and I never knew it even existed. It's been flying up there for years.
That's crazy,
It's
man.
so crazy. So thank you so much for sending that in. The other topic that we have this week, we're going back to Mars because some really, really cool stuff we found from Mars. And this isn't from InSight. This is actually from the ESA Mars's Express Orbiter. It spotted water ice-filled crater. And this is the actual picture. New images from the high-resolution stereo camera on the ESA Mars Express spacecraft show an impact crater in the northern lowlands of Mars. It's known as the Korolev crater. It's a 51-mile-wide crater filled with water ice all year round. This is named for Sergei Korolev, who is considered the father of Soviet space technology.
So that's a fucking lake.
Basically.
Wow.
This ever-icy presence is due to the interesting phenomenon known as cold trap, which occurs just like the name suggests. The cold is trapped there. So therefore, it is water ice all year round. And if you go back to episode 62 when we had Dr. Michio Kaku on the show, he was talking about how if we can find large deposits like this on Mars, this would be the first areas of basically to look at mining water when we start to build colonies there.
You know, the thing that blows my mind, where's that water coming from?
The universe. The universe is filled with water. In fact, like the amount of water that we're finding just in the asteroid belt is very surprising to us. And it's just water vapor, water drop, you know, like so like it is there. It just doesn't collect on a planet like Earth because not any of these planets have atmosphere like ours. It gets trapped in our atmosphere and gets collected there.
So it's just water on the surface.
Right.
Huh. Is that a picture of it? We can see it just like that?
Yes, that is a picture of Mars, but it is an artist representation of the ESA spacecraft there.
Right.
The Mars Express mission members explained Korolev crater's floor is deep, lying 1.2 miles vertically beneath its rim. Its very deepest parts, those containing ice, act as a natural cold trap. The air moving over the deposit of ice cools down and sinks, creating a layer of cool air as it sits directly above the ice itself. And that's what's really cool about this. And to not only make this even more interesting, the ESA spacecraft first entered orbit around Mars on Christmas Day, 2003.
Oh,
and
been there 15 years.
15th anniversary, it found this discovery.
Wow.
Yes, because just before Christmas, it took these photos.
That's insane.
Yeah, really, really, really
I have a
cool.
serious question for you, though,
Okay.
Jeff. If somebody bottled this up and gave it to you, would you drink it?
No.
No?
No, because, I mean, what we don't know is we know what it's comprised of, which is water ice. We know that.
But it could have, like, methane.
We don't know what else is in it. I mean, we're starting to figure that out, but it won't be until we actually have a probe to literally probe it and figure out what.
Scoop it out and send it.
So who knows what could be
I mean,
in
we've
there.
got to be doing that, right? Or we got to be, like, aiming to do that.
We're aiming to do that. We don't have any on-ground probe near the poles of Mars.
Okay.
But spacecraft like ESA does have data collection that we can get some sort of idea of the other types of gases that are in this.
Okay.
And mineral or elements, I guess,
Yeah,
that are in this. But it's still not going to be as conclusive as if we were to have something literally sticking something into it and checking it out.
Well, you'd think we'd want to send something and.
The only thing is I know the next probe that we're sending in 2020, we're not sending to the poles. Again, we're sending near the equator just because there's so much we don't know about the planet itself. And even though this is water ice, if we were to land, we're not going to want to land near the poles. We're going to want to land near the middle of the planet because it's going to be a lot easier to land. So that's kind of why we're sending the rovers where we're sending them, is to really map out where's going to be the best place to do it. And then we're going to figure out how to get from point A to point B. And if you've seen any of the science fiction movies out there, including that incredible show Mars.
So good.
That's what they're doing on those shows is like they're there in a colony, and then they also have their rovers that they can figure out, okay, I have this amount of gas that can get me this far in a day, and then once it gets night, I have to camp, and then I can come back, and it's like, so how can I get, farther and farther distances? And those will be problems that we'll have to face when we get there.
So wild.
So wild.
It's the frontier, man.
It really is.
Good. It is a fully operational Death Star of the week.
Okay, guys, it's that time again. Starting out the year, I just want to say it. If you're not a fan or a friend of the official Death Wish Coffee Company community page over on Facebook, get on it, because that's where I find most of the Death Stars of the week, this week being no different, because if you've never met Scott Miller, you're going to meet him right now. When did you find out about Death Wish Coffee, either the company or the coffee? How did you find out about it?
Hi, Jeff. It's great to be here. I'm excited about this. I found out about the coffee. I believe it was the Super Bowl ad.
Ah.
And my wife's cousin lives up in Saratoga. And I was walking down Broadway, the Saratoga Coffee Traders was there, home of Death Wish Coffee. I went, oh, my God, I got to go in. And that's what started my passion and love for Death Wish Coffee.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. Yeah, that Super Bowl commercial was like the craziest thing that's ever happened to this company, I'll tell you.
Yeah, that was a sick commercial. That was awesome.
Yeah. And so before you found the coffee, were you a big coffee drinker?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
yes, I like all kinds of coffee. I've tried different ones from, single source geisha to, different ones.
Yeah. So how much coffee do you think you drink in a day?
Oh, easily a pot a day.
Nice. Me too. Because you need it.
I mean, throughout the day. I mean, And the thing is, where I used to work, I would pour a hot cup of coffee, and I would get busy doing something. I'd come back, and it was cold.
Right.
And over the years, I prefer iced coffee.
Uh-huh.
It's I just like iced coffee. And it's gotten to the point where any leftover coffee from maybe that second pot, I pour into an ice cube tray, and I use little death cubes, I call them, in my iced coffee so I get no dilution.
Yes, yes. And I love the death cube idea. I've seen not just you, but I've seen other people take that idea and run with it on the internet as well. And I've tried it myself. It is a great freaking idea.
Well, there's no dilution.
Right. Exactly.
You know, your customer service, Mike, Caden, Christine, I mean, unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those guys are rock stars, you know. And I've heard being on, you know, like the Facebook page, the community page, everybody raves about the customer service. And that's what brings in new people to your company. I tell them about the great customer service.
Totally. We're
you
so
know,
lucky to have them on our team.
Yeah, I mean, my wife, you know, she drinks coffee. She doesn't drink Death Wish. She's a Valhalla girl.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's now a subscriber, as a matter of fact, to Death Wish.
Nice.
My son, Aaron Miller, a good buddy of mine, Jack Christensen, I turned him on to it, and I think he might be a subscriber.
Nice. Yeah, we
You know,
we love caffeinating everybody, that's for sure.
Well, you know, it's a good product.
Well, thank you very much. So, speaking on products outside of the coffee, another thing we love here is the mugs. And I know you collect some of the mugs. Do you remember?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember the first mug that you got?
It was at the mothership there. I think it might have been the Valhalla mug.
Nice.
But it also could have been the red 2016 mug.
I
was trying to think of that, and you know, I mean, I've got like 40 mugs now.
Nice. That is quite the collection. Do you have a favorite in your collection?
My favorite mug, I don't know. I like the Yeti.
Yeah.
I like the Valhalla. I like Dropkick Murphy.
Nice.
I like big mugs, and I cannot lie.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I like the bigger mugs, personally.
Well, we're going to be making some more of those in the next year in 2019, so I know you'll be excited for those.
Sweet. Another thing I like.
Go on.
Go on.
No, you go on.
All right. What I was going to say is, as a company, what you guys do for the community and organizations, like the Special Olympics, St. Jude's, Operation Sandbox, Toys for Toga. You know, I've contributed to all those, my wife and I. I mean, we just think it's really good what you guys do for those organizations.
Well, thank you. We enjoy giving back to the community, you know?
And the vets, you know, I mean, like Gail Dunmeyer, what she does. I mean, it's just a great group of people in the community page, you know?
Yes, they really, really are. So finally then, through everything that you've seen us do, through all the stuff, the charity work that we've done, the mugs we've created, the merchandise we've made, the coffee that we produce, is there anything that we haven't tried that you'd like to see us try?
I got two things.
Excellent.
Okay, the first one, I enjoy playing cornhole.
Oh.
But a cornhole boards would be really expensive.
Yeah.
Most people have cornhole boards. But custom Death Wish professional cornhole bags would be awesome.
That is a great idea. We have some cornhole players here at Death Wish Coffee, and if I tell them this idea, they might really run with it. Although, explain to me, what is a professional...
If they need ideas, I got some ideas.
What's a professional... No, before you go on, what's a professional cornhole bag? What sets that apart?
A professional cornhole bag is smooth, real slippery, smooth on one side, and the other side, it's less slippery. It's your stick side.
Gotcha.
So if you're trying to just land it on the board, the stick side will bam, stick to the board.
Right.
Where the other one, you can slide it or knock somebody else off.
Ah, I never knew that. Very cool. Well, maybe we can get into that. You said you had another
Okay,
idea.
The second thing, I would love to see a community cookbook using Death Wish coffee in the recipes.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Okay, the reason I mentioned that, I do a cookout every year. We do briskets and whatever, and last 2 years, I've been using ground up Death Wish coffee in my dry rub on the brisket.
Ah.
Okay? And let me tell you, people try it, and they go, there's something in here. It's a slightly nutty, slight chocolatey flavor to it that the coffee is coming out of the coffee.
Awesome. Oh, my mouth is
Okay?
watering.
I made some jerky the other day, and I use it's like a gun. Okay, you put your ground meat, your spices, your cure. Well, I threw coffee in there, and I made I call it death jerky.
Nice.
Oh my God, this stuff is incredible.
Nice.
So personally, I know you have the vodka. We could put together a group cookbook where people could send in the recipes, print it out as a cookbook. I think that would be pretty cool with pictures maybe in it, you know.
I think that's a great idea. I think that's another thing I'm going to run up the flagpole for sure, because we're always looking for new ideas, and I love the idea of including the community as well, which you are a part of. And honestly, Scott,
thank you.
Honestly, Scott, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show.
Well, I appreciate it. I think it's great. I'm glad I could be on here.
Awesome.
Welcome back to the show.
Hey, Jeff, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. We're switching it up in 2019. We're moving some stuff around on this show. I just want to say, again, if you have not shared and commented, if you're watching this live, do so now, because one lucky comment at the end of the show will win this 2018 industrial mug. It's the last one. It's the last one we have.
Jeff, I love that mug.
I do too. That denim glaze is just the best. And you can have it. You can win it. One lucky winner will get that comment picked at the end of the show, and Demon and myself will sign the bottom and send the mug right out to you guys. And I want to try something new. 2019, we're going to try a new little segment here, something that I've been kind of toying with. Both you and me, we like lots of things: music, movies, TV, video games, that kind of stuff. And I like it when we talk about things that we're into. Because,
I like it when I talk about things that I like.
Yeah, exactly, you know? So I kind of wanted to do a little bit of a portion of this show where we talk about something each week that we're into this week, you know? Because, like, I am into all sorts of random stuff, and you and I do this off the show. We'll be like, yo, dude, check this out, or, oh, did you see this thing, kind of thing. So I wanted to kind of bring you all into this, too. So I wanted to start with you. There's something that has been you've been on the tip of your tongue that you really want to see.
So I haven't seen it yet, but looking at the previews, it looks like a fucking, like, groundbreaking movie, and it's a movie called Vice.
Yeah.
Which, the most surprising thing right off the bat, it's like, is that fucking Christian Bale?
I know. Have you guys seen the trailer? I don't know if I can play enough of the trailer, but I'll put up at least a photo of Christian Bale as Cheney, and it is mind-blowing.
Yeah, so the movie's all like the background of how Dick Cheney became the most powerful man on earth, pretty much.
Yeah.
And like stuff that, we might have been aware of as Americans, but maybe not to the extent that this movie is going to show us. And it just looks absolutely incredible. And dude, is Christian Bale not the most amazing, like, character embracer that has ever existed?
Daniel Day-Lewis might have him beat, but you're right. He's up there. Christian Bale, the way that he loses himself in a role is just insane. And if any of you guys have seen this movie, please sound off in the comments, because I'm with you. Yeah. I'm excited to watch it too. And I'm usually not into like the whole like political type movie.
I hate political stuff, but I love like when it's already happened.
Yeah.
And we're like looking back at how crazy fucking American politics are. This looks amazing.
And it's gotten about middle of the ground reviews.
Oh,
like,
really?
Half of the reviewers that I've seen have been like, this is a good movie, and the other half have been like, yeah, it kind of misses the mark. But you always take that stuff with a grain of salt anyways, because, there's a ton of crap out there that I love, and there's a ton of stuff that everybody loves that I think is crap.
Yeah, either way, super curious to see Christian Bale pull off another character that's completely outside the realm of all the other characters that he's played. You look at Batman, where he's buff as hell, and right before that, he was the Machinist, where he was 121 pounds of nothing. I mean, this dude changes his physical appearance in so many levels, where now he's like some fat president vice president
it's
dude.
crazy.
It's nuts.
It's nuts. I can't wait to see it.
What's on your mind, Jeff?
So what's been on my mind is my favorite band in the last couple of years released. They Beyonce'd a song. They just released a song without telling anybody, right on the heels of a brand new album, and that is, of course, my favorite band, Gunship. And Gunship did this thing in the release of their actual album where they made a game, made a mystery for people to solve, and if you solved it, you were put in the sweepstakes to win a Gunship branded video game console system, like one of the stand-up ones from like the 80s, like in that picture.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. If you're a fan of Ready Player One, that's what they were kind of going after. It was like this whole like journey to figure out, all the clues.
Watched that movie the other day,
and
by
I
the way.
tried.
It was great.
Yeah,
I liked it.
The book's better, but I liked it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was this crazy cool thing, and everybody like tried to enter it. I tried to enter it. I got to the very end, and I couldn't figure out the last clue. But I know a lot of people did, and they're going to give away the video game console now.
That's crazy.
They released a brand new album, a lot of awesome songs on it, and only a month later, just last week, they released a brand new video and song as a thank you to everybody who entered this contest, and it's called The Video Game Champion. I encourage everybody to go check this out, especially if you're a fan of the new synthwave type, throwback music, like think Stranger Things. And the video. Did you watch the video?
I haven't seen it yet.
It's great. It's not a stylized music video like they've made.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of clips of all instances from 80s movies that are set in like arcades. So anytime like an 80s movie like was in an arcade, there's a lot from Tron, obviously.
Yeah.
But like anytime that there's that type of scene, they splice them all together and then put it to this song. And it's awesome. I love it. I just love this band so much, and they just are just giving us new music all the time.
I think it's so great when artists are able to create exactly what they want with nothing in the way.
Yeah.
With nobody else giving them suggestions.
Yeah.
Just doing a thing that they're passionate about. And this whole like throwback to our childhood is now like the thing. It's now the pop culture to be a 90s child.
Totally.
And it's
even
so
an
cool.
80s child.
Yeah, and it's so cool to see all this stuff surface, and I don't know. Gunship embodies it better than almost anybody else.
I love it. If you guys have not checked those guys out, go check out Gunship. And yeah, this was fun. I like talking about stuff we like.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah.
I smell a roast.
Does it smell like lies?
Like I said, Happy New Year, Happy 2019 to everybody watching and enjoying the show. And I wanted to talk about New Year's traditions. And before we get into, the elephant in the room, which the one that everybody wrestles with, the New Year's resolution, I did want to talk a little bit about, how the celebration of the new year even started. Now, granted, there's the Western and the Eastern version of that. There's the Chinese New Year and that kind of idea, but then there's also the ancient idea of the reset of the calendar, the reset of the harvest, the reset of that kind of thing. I did a little digging, and I found out, as always, some stuff I had no idea was even a part of it. First of all, go way back to the ancient Babylonians, and they're said to be the first people to make New Year's resolutions, to celebrate this idea of New Year's 4,000 years ago. And basically, they thought that the year began in mid-March, not in January, because, again, that's when the thaw would happen, and there'd be the harvest, and that's how, they would the crops would be planted at that point. During a massive 12-day religious festival known as Akitu, the Babylonians crowned a new king or reaffirmed their loyalty to the reigning king. They also made promises to the gods to pay their debts and return any objects that they had borrowed throughout the year. These promises then could be considered the forerunners of the New Year's resolution.
Dude, could you imagine a 12-day long celebration?
I know after just a New Year's Eve party, I wake up on New Year's Day dying.
Yeah, because we're trying to get it all out in one night, right? These guys know that they've got almost 2 weeks to just fucking let loose.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Oh my God.
That would be
Oh man, yeah, that's some pretty craziness. So a similar practice occurred, go over to ancient Rome. After the reform-minded emperor, Julius Caesar, tinkered with the calendar and established January 1st as the beginning of the new year. Now, this was around 46 BC, so this is 4,000 years later.
Yeah.
Like, he tinkered with that calendar, and that Roman calendar is what we use today. It was named for Janus, who is the Roman god, the two-faced god, whose spirit inhabited doorways and arches. And January had a very special significance for the Romans because believing in Janus symbolically looked backwards into the previous year and ahead into the future, hence the doorway. And the Romans would offer sacrifices to the deity and made promises of good conduct for the coming year, yet again, for New Year's resolutions. I found this striking statistic. About 45% of Americans make New Year's resolutions every year, while only 8% of those succeed.
How do you fucking measure something like that?
This is according to the University of Scranton, and it was a study published in the Journal of Clinical Psychology. Or Psychology, I'm sorry. I heard a great quote, though, because personally speaking, and I think I'm speaking for D-Man too, New Year's resolutions are dumb. And the reason why is because don't wait till January 1st. Don't use January 1st as this arbitrary date to do the thing that you want to do. And this was the quote I heard. Start tomorrow, start today, start next weekend, start only once you know your plan and you know you're going to stick to it. So many people see January 1st as not only a time to start fresh and to make this resolution to be healthier, to be a better person, to pay off your debts or whatever, but then the other side is people have this crushing anxiety because it's, oh no, it's January 1st. I'm not ready to quit smoking. I'm not ready to turn my life around.
Yeah, listen, I get it. You need motivators to kind of tick you off into the next, chapter of your life.
Yeah.
But hanging everything up on one silly day can lead to disasters.
Totally.
And totally not following through with the shit that you plan to do. Like you said earlier, make the plan, set a date, follow through. It doesn't have to be January 1st.
It can be May 15th. It can be July 23rd.
I will say, though, Jeff, for the first time in my life, I have made a New Year's resolution.
I think I know what it is.
Do you?
Maybe I don't. Maybe I just know what your plan is. But what is your New Year's resolution?
And it's not because it's New Year's. It's because, I don't know, I felt the change start to pick up recently.
Okay.
And it just kind of came around this time, and I was like, okay, I'll follow through with that. But I decided to be more honest.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Welcome to the final show of Fueled by Death show.
Well,
that's why you're saying you're going to kill me all show.
Well,
You're honest.
Hey, at least I'm not lying to you. You're dead now.
Oh, boy.
But really, I just think there are a lot of times in life not necessarily that I'm dishonest, but I leave things aside because honesty seems like it's an obstacle.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to just be like, well, I'm not going to deal with that.
Right.
And I've decided to just be more blunt to myself, the people around me, and with my actions.
I think that is very commendable, dude.
We'll see.
Well, I think it is. I think that's a great thing to think about. And you, like you said, it just happens to be coinciding with the new year. So more power to you. And
we'll see how this goes.
Hopefully we're still friends next week.
We'll see. We'll see. No promises.
No promises.
Did you make any resolutions?
No.
And I don't blame you because I never do.
I never do.
And I wouldn't have, except for it's just the timing of life. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go with it. New year, fucking new me.
Yeah, my New Year's resolution. If I were to boil it down, though, my New Year's resolution is always the same. Every New Year, I think back on the year that I had, and I think ahead to the new year, and I think that I want to have as good or better of a new year. I want to be as good or better to myself and to others, and I just hope for more surprises, more adventures, and more fun. And that's it. I'm not resoluting to anything. But New Year's resolutions aren't the only traditions out there, obviously. In America, we do fireworks. Like you said, we have a debaucherous party on New Year's Eve.
Can't wait.
The ball drops, the huge party in Times Square in New York.
You think we'll be looking back at that in like 2,000 years from now, being like, and they just dropped a ball and all cheered around it and shit in diapers because they wanted to stand in the same place for 12 hours.
Probably. I don't know. So I wanted to look around the world and see if there were some other weird and fun traditions for the New Year's outside, again, of the Chinese New Year, because that's a whole show in itself. That is rich in tradition, very, very cool, and lots and lots of stuff to talk about. So
it takes a lot of time, too.
Tons of time. So I left that out of here. But this is stuff that happens around January 1st in different countries that I thought was fun. First up is Denmark. In Denmark, they save all of their unused dishes and plates until the 31st of December, when they affectionately shatter them against the doors of their friends and families' houses.
I'd love to do that.
Me too. What a great thing. Like, they literally save them all year. Like, I can't wait. Uncle Bob is going to get this frickin' plate, I swear to God. Like, how cool is that?
Wow, I want to see that.
Streets are littered with plates.
Oh, my God. You think there's, like, one jerk that has, like, all the shattered plates around his door?
Oh, I don't know. They are doing it in an affectionate way.
Oh,
so.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
You don't think they're screaming while they're doing that?
I would be.
Affectionately screaming.
Affectionately screaming. Oh, man. I thought that was really fun. So, in Spain, the New Year's tradition for good luck revolves around grapes. It is said if you can manage to stuff 12 grapes into your mouth at midnight, you've achieved good luck for the next year. Now, I've never tried it, but I think that's a lot of grapes.
Well, it depends. Is it like little small wine grapes like this, or is it like GMO American fat grapes?
Probably wine. I mean, we are in Spain,
Yeah,
so probably wine
They don't
grapes.
have those big fat
Still,
GMO
12
grapes.
of those? I don't know if I could. You think you could?
I know I could.
Oh, I should have brought in grapes. Darn it.
Oh, my God.
I should have brought in grapes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Why didn't you bring in grapes?
Yeah, maybe next time. But
next year.
Next year. But
I'm resoluting to bring in grapes.
So people who do 12 grapes by midnight, they have good luck for the
What
next
about the
year.
ones that choke on it?
Yeah, right? That no good luck. Sorry.
Does it count if I accidentally swallow one?
Oh, my gosh. In some South American countries, wearing colored underwear will determine your fate of the new year. Red underwear means you'll find love. Gold means you'll find wealth. And white signifies peace in the new year. When you're wearing blue.
Blue?
I don't know. I didn't say. Those are the only three
I see
that
blue
I saw.
hanging up there. You're not
Yeah,
gonna
well,
bring up blue?
I got a random photo of colored underwear.
Those aren't.
No, I just looked up. I Googled colored underwear. I wanted some sort of photo. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I thought that was kind of odd. Like, you're going to choose what you want for the new year by the color that you wear kind of thing.
Yeah, I think blue means you're going to kill your co-host.
Oh, that must be what it means. I don't like where this is going.
I think that's 5 times the show so far.
Oh, my God. So this one you're going to love. This one you're going to love.
I'm ready.
This is called the Takanakui Festival in Peru.
Oh.
This,
I know this one.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite photos in the world.
They save up all their grudges throughout the year.
Yep.
Anything that they have had issues with each other, and
Yep.
they settle it.
Yeah.
They settle it, and they
Everybody,
fight,
even the grandmas.
and
like,
they just drink and they fight. Oh, it's
every
so
year
good.
at the end of December.
I want that.
This is a small town in Peru. They fist fight to settle their differences.
What if somebody's
So
like,
then-
I don't want to?
No, because the whole point is that even if you don't want to, win or lose, regardless of how the fight ends, everybody starts the new year with a clean slate, which is a good idea.
And a broken jaw.
And a broken jaw. But I mean, everybody, like you said, they save up the grudges, but all the grudges are off the table at that point.
I would love to just be like, oh, you wait until New Year's, motherfucker. I'm getting you.
Oh, my
There,
God.
once again, there must be one jerk.
One jerk.
Who just gets his ass kicked. Maybe he's good for the first 2.
Yeah.
But then wears down.
Yeah.
And everybody just starts kicking him in the dirt. Him or her. Let's not gender specify jerks here.
Yeah, let's not. Going over to Russia, they celebrate much like you probably expect Russia to celebrate.
Drinking vodka, jumping in ice.
Yep, in Siberia, they jump into frozen lakes, many of them doing it by carrying large tree trunks just to make it harder, I guess.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
No, I've seen that.
Like,
Yeah, for sure.
Go Russia.
I'm thinking about
I
doing
know
the
you're thinking
polar
about doing the
plunge.
polar plunge. Have any of you guys ever done the polar plunge? To me personally, it seems crazy. I actually do have a story real quick. I went to college at SUNY Oswego, which is way up north in New York, right on the lake.
Yeah.
And the lake would freeze. The Great Lake would freeze every winter. And I did jump in February one winter, and immediately my entire body, my brain went, you don't have to surface. Like my whole body just gave up. And was just like, it's so cold. I went into shock. It was just like, you don't have to surface. And I finally surfaced and clawed my way out. I was like, I will never do that again. But if you're going to do it, good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been training. I've
Awesome.
been taking cold showers
That's
every
true,
morning.
that's true.
As cold as it goes, which is terrible, by the way. It's terrible.
And then finally, I wanted to end it on a good note. If we go over to Estonia, New Year's traditions are all about food. People eat 7 times on New Year's Day to ensure abundance in the new year.
I would love that.
That's my favorite. Out of all of it, out of the fighting and the underwear and the cold baths and everything, it's like to eat 7 delicious meals in one day.
Is that like Greek food?
I think it is Mediterranean. Ooh, I might be getting that wrong.
Ooh.
But regardless, I don't even care what it is.
Yeah,
7 meals in the day, like, and that's the tradition. It's not like you suck, you're a glutton. It's like no, we're doing this.
Oh man, that sounds good.
yes.
Can we do that anyways?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Done.
Awesome.
Starting tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Well, Happy New Year, everybody. And if you did make a resolution, I wish you all the best. But don't worry about it. You know, don't worry about New Year's resolutions. They're
Just
dumb.
constantly improve yourself instead of picking one dumb day to fail.
It's true.
D-Man's Death Wish Update. Brought to you by Death Wish Coffee.
So if you guys haven't seen it, we've shown it a little bit throughout our social media over at Death Wish Coffee and everything. But if you missed it, the 2019 mug is here.
Dude, it's so cool.
What is it called? The Lumberjack?
The Lumberjack
I love
mug.
it. I
Once
love it.
again, we reached into the Deneen vault for, uncommon, unused styles of mugs, and they brought this bad boy out. And it's exactly what I think a ceramic mug should look like.
Yes.
It's the perfect shape, holds the perfect amount of coffee. I can tell I can get an AeroPress on top of that motherfucker, which is great. And I think it just embodies exactly what we are at Death Wish, a big black
mug.
beast. Boom.
It's 14 plus ounces. It is that lumberjack style. It's got our 2019 logo right on there. So, obviously for all you Mug Life collectors out there, you're going to want this. But for all you guys who are new to it, this is our yearly mug. Every year we make numbered, limited edition mugs, and those are the mugs that we try to tell you about, get you excited for, so you can buy them immediately because sometimes they sell out really quick. This will be all year round. Now, sometimes it might sell out.
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
Because we do, specific runs of this, and then have Deneen make more for us. But Deneen makes lots of mugs for lots of different people. And if you guys really like this mug, like last year with last year's hammer, it sold out almost immediately in January.
It's happening.
But never fear, it'll be back, and we're going to be running it all year round. So it'll be perfect to get now, later, for Christmas next year. It'll be there all year round, and we're really excited about it. I can't wait to get one for my very own, actually. We'll probably give one away on this show. And maybe next show or the show after.
Ooh.
We'll see. Something I do want to talk about that's coming out tomorrow. We showed it on the show already, but we're really excited because it's something you all have been asking for a lot. You love the merchandise we make for Death Wish Coffee, but so many people are like, why don't you make more for Valhalla Java? Well, we did.
Oh, and it's not always easy. We always got to get things approved by Zach Wilde himself, and he approved of this himself, and I can see why, because it is probably one of the coolest hoodies we have made yet. I'm a fan of all the Viking stuff, which is why I'm definitely getting this hoodie myself, but the print job on this came out spectacular. spectacular. All those little fine lines and details were caught up in that screen, and it looks great.
And it is a pullover hoodie. It's not a zip down. And like you can see, it's got the Shield logo on the front and the actual bag logo with Odin on the back there. Zach Wilde approved. And this is the tip of the iceberg. I'm going to leave it at that, guys. But really, we've been listening to you. We understand that you want more of a Holla merchandise. We want more of a Holla merchandise. Zach Wilde wants more of a Holla merchandise.
It's fucking happening.
So we're going to make a lot more cool stuff throughout 2019. This is the first of many, and we're really excited about it. And it comes out tomorrow on Thursday, so get ready for that. Are you guys ready for something that no one's seen? It's been behind us the whole show. You probably have seen it on the shelf. We've told you we're doing it again. 2019, in the beginning of the year, it's coming back. Our cold brew coffee.
Now, it's not just one type of cold brew coffee.
No, it isn't.
Here's what you would expect. Black. Delicious.
300 milligrams of caffeine in a can.
Yeah, so eat your heart out, Red Bull and other nitro coffees, because this one's going to blast your socks
and they're
off.
8 fluid ounces, by the way.
This one is black and sweet with a touch of sugar and ever so smooth. Also, 300 milligrams of caffeine.
Yes.
And last but not least, a latte version.
Yeah.
Now, I got to say, I'm not a fan of cream and sugar in my coffee.
Me either.
But sometimes cold black coffee is not always the easiest to choke down.
That's true.
Although this is quite smooth.
Oh, it's so good.
But this is next level tasty. I cannot believe the delicious cold brew we were able to pull off, and I'm so excited to release this to you guys in early 2019.
It's coming right around the bend. I really do want to throw it out to the design of these cans. This is from our very own, the incomparable Thomas Dragonetti. Worked very hard designing these cans, and they're beautiful. I love the straight black, the red and black, and the white and black. I think they're going to look amazing when you get them. And the only difference, I'm going to tell you guys this, and this hasn't even been revealed yet, but I'll tell you this. The only difference between the can that you're seeing now and the one you'll be able to buy is we've got a new version that's going to have a black top, a black tab on it, which just makes it even cooler. Because, I mean, come on, we're Death Wish Coffee. I mean, it's aesthetically, like, you know, it's cool, but it's not going to change what's inside. And what's inside, we went back to the drawing board with our cold brew, and we came up with these recipes, and they are awesome. And I will echo what you said. I am not a fan of sugar or cream in my coffee, but I like both those versions.
Yeah.
I think they're great.
I will say, with everything in front of us, we did a lot of testing. We had so many samples coming here. We were trying it every day, and I couldn't believe, like, we had a few cream and sugar samples, but the one that we chose was, like, by far, like, this is the one we want.
Yes.
And like I said, I really can't wait for you guys to try it. And it's coming. And it's coming soon, and I would expect it not to be around when it first comes out, but it's coming right back. It's going to be touch and go because we don't know the demand of this. I know everybody's going to want it, though, and it's going to go very quickly, but it's going to come right back.
We're still working on how we're going to release it, where you're going to be able to find, obviously, deathwishcoffee.com, but we're going to hopefully, work it into everywhere that we possibly can to get it into your hands. And like you said, we're working with a lot of people to make this work. It's been a labor of love throughout 2018 to really create this product. So right out of the gate, I know we're going to have some hiccups probably, because you guys are going to be excited. We're going to be excited. Everybody's going to buy it, and we're going to be like, oh, we're out of it again. But it's going to be a lasting product that we're going to be proud of, and we can't wait for you guys to try it. It's coming. We joked about it a little bit on this show. We said, we're going to do cold brew again, and everybody got excited. You guys are seeing this for the very first time. Share the crap out of these images. Let everybody know that we're making these.
I can't believe it's here, Jeff.
I can't either. It's so cool to have them in our hands.
And
for so long, these have been just like product, like photos,
Yeah.
like on just like boards and stuff. And it's like, it's cool that we have the
I mean,
physical
we
product.
even were painstaking about the can shape.
Yeah.
And I love this can shape, and it's gonna sit right next to Red Bull and kick it's gonna kick its ass.
Yeah, but
it really is, man.
We're gonna caffeinate the world. That's the plan, and we're gonna
300 milligrams.
You're
of
gonna help us do
caffeine.
it.
Don't drink 2 of these. Just don't do it. That's insane.
As the great Norman Reedus, Daryl on The Walking Dead, said of our previous version, and I'm sure he'll say of this, it is his very own liquid crack. And
it will be, yeah.
This will be that as well. So we're very, very excited. Get excited for it. And, we can't wait. We cannot wait for you guys to get your hand on these very, very soon. And that's the show, everybody. Thank you so much for watching and for sharing and for liking and commenting. We love doing this show for you guys. I do want to say, don't forget, tomorrow is a brand new podcast episode. It's episode 107 with Hannah DeVore. And this was amazing. When we went out to Los Angeles, she invited us into her house. We actually recorded this on her back porch at night, so it's a little bit more of an ambiance to it. But Hannah has been pretty much in almost every industry there is. She used to work for Loring, and we talk about working in the coffee industry, but she was also a fitness professional and a fitness model, and now she works for an incredible company, Real Good Foods, which creates literally real good food.
Yeah, you're talking about awesome pizzas where the crust is not crust, it's chicken. And enchiladas where the tortilla is not a tortilla, it's chicken.
It's so cool. And that episode is premiering tomorrow everywhere podcasts are found. But I want you guys to check out a real quick sneak peek of tomorrow's brand new podcast with Hannah right here.
The Fueled by Death guest.
Yeah, it's tough. What would you say to somebody who deals with that body dysmorphia issue and how to subvert all of that information out there?
You've got to keep the right people close.
Mm-hmm.
You have to keep, even if you don't know too much about the industry or about what's really going on with these people on Instagram, like, you know, if you don't know about steroids per se, you know, you've got to be surrounded by some people who can maybe help snap you out of it.
Yeah.
I was backstage at my first pro show, and I was one of the smaller girls, and I was kind of sitting back there and kind of just watching these girls walk by, and they just, like, even bikini girls, even in my division, their delts are just popping, and they're just shredded to the point of just veins on their abs.
It looks unreal. I'm like, how does that happen?
And I'm kind of sitting there looking, and my coach looked at me, and she was like, okay, but you know what they're doing, right? You know you're not doing what they're doing. Like, she kind of snapped me out of it. And it's okay that people want to use drugs. Like, I really don't care because I chose the industry.
Right.
I'm not going to complain because if I'm going to complain, why don't I just go do something else? Go do another sport, you know, or go compete in the naturals.
Yeah.
But I have to stay realistic about it. And it's nice to have a coach that's like, that can kind of snap me out of it and that can say, okay, but I'm going to list the 5 things that girl's taking that are the reason why she looks like that, you know, so stay realistic, you know? So, I mean, have good people around you and just, I guess just educate yourself. Because these naive girls who I talk to, I'm like, you got to do some research on what's really going on.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But it's hard. And I've gained most of my confidence in the past few years from competing.
Yeah. Because
stepping on stage in a bikini is really weird, especially for a tomboy. Like, I would never have thought that I would do that.
Yeah.
But so that kind of put me in touch with, like, my feminine side. But really just lifting weights and just, like, going to the gym alone and just putting in headphones and following a program and trying to lift more every single time, you know. I mean, that's really given me confidence.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, so thanks so much again, guys. One final time, if you want to follow us on social media, it's super easy. I am at Jeff Wish Coffee.
And I am at Death Wish Dustin.
And you can follow the entire show across all social platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, at Fueled by Deathcast for all of that fun. Thank you so much for watching and sharing the show, and we'll be back next week with a brand new show. Goodbye, everybody.
Cheers!